Hi, this is Emma Willis.
And I'm Helen Christoni.
Welcome to our Make Time podcast. We are two women on a mission to uncover the secrets of making time for everything.
From work and relationships to our brain, body, and beauty, we'll explore it all and share it with all of you.
We interview experts so we can discover more practical tips to make time so we have more time for our family, friends, and ourselves.
So join us as we chat with incredible guests who share their expertise on all the ways we can learn to make time, especially for you.
Okay, it's time to make time. Elaine Glass is a visionary author and highly experienced master life coach, renowned for her transformative retreats tailored for women navigating intricate midlife transitions. Driven by a profound sense of purpose, Elaine's mission is helping people live their best lives. Her unique approach, known as the Get Quiet Way, is a roadmap to discovering your inner treasures and bringing them fully to the surface and out into the world. She also has a book called Get Quiet, which will empower you to get back to feeling like yourself again. In this episode, Elaine takes us through a meditation that is meant to harmonize and balance us, and let me tell you, Helen and I definitely needed it. So let's get ready and let's make time for Elaine Glass.
Elaine, we are so happy to have you here with us today. A big pleasure to have you on the Make Time podcast. And we're here with me and Emma today while we make time with all our listeners. And so thank you for joining.
Thank you so much for having me, ladies. I am thrilled to be here.
We start with this on all our podcasts. So please share with our listeners, what's the most important thing that you make time for and why?
The most important thing I make time for now, which I never did before, and I learned my lesson, was to make time for my spirituality. That's the most important aspect of my personal development and my personal healing. And when I had taken my focus off of that, my life did not turn out very well. So that is what I make time for.
Yeah, I'm in a period in my life right now where I'm really having to tune in to my spirituality also and make time for that. So I'm really excited to discuss this with you today because it's really important for women to, just to find things that work for them. So if you could please share with our listeners, if you can give people 3 actionable tips on how ladies can do this, what would you tell them?
Well, the first thing is to just know that you have a full-on spirit team that is there guiding you, and to have faith in the unseen. So whether you call that universe, God, angels, guides, that is all there for you. And when we disconnect from that, life gets very, very difficult. So the first step is to wake up to that and to really, really do your best to have faith in the unseen. Just that first step will open that energy flow so that you will begin to see those come up in your life, those synchronicities, the messages that will come through. So first step is awareness and waking up to this. The second step is to get in an environment that supports these very subtle messages, because these are very subtle things that are coming through into us. And the noise of the world has really become a detriment to being able to connect to this whole entire facet of our lives that makes our lives so meaningful and so rich. And to be guided in a way that is with comfort and is with wisdom and clarity. You're not going to find that in the busy, noisy world. So get quiet in an environment that supports these subtle messages.
It's so interesting that you say that, because I'm in therapy and I'm the least quiet person. And I know it's kind of a, your methodology, but my therapist literally turns me upside down in a chair and forces the issue for me to just get in a just in a place where I'm just disconnected from anything. And at least that 1 hour a week, I have this moment, and and now I'm starting to learn how to like turn the noise off by myself, because, and she's so great. She literally like inverts me in a chair and turns me upside down. So like I lose all control of what's going on. And so I think like finding these moments are so, so, so important.
Yeah, that's my question, Elaine. Like, how do you turn the noise down? And how do you make time to be quiet?
I'm glad you asked that question, Emma. It really is what Helen was just talking about, is getting so present with your life and not needing to control, because that's what you're doing really, is when you're laying back like that, you've totally lost control, the need for control too. So how you do that, how you quiet the mind, first, you've got to nurture your body. When we're connecting to our spiritual side, it always starts in a very unusual way, and that is just to be in our bodies instead of in our overthinking mind. So start to move your body in very gentle ways, not forceful, like sometimes we want to do. I remember, running marathons and doing things that were just so forceful, and I realized that it's the gentleness that needs to begin to happen to be able to get quiet. This is how we support getting out of our minds, into our bodies, into our heart space. And then really the goal is to get into the soul space, because I believe we are souls having this human experience. And I believe that a lot of suffering in the world is that we've detached our body from our soul. We are totally disconnected to the soul. And so the first step is to get into our bodies in a very gentle way.
And would you think that, so I guess it would be different for everyone. Like for me, I would think meditation or maybe even yoga, because when you're talking about being gentle, or maybe it's hiking, like getting out into nature, going for a walk with a friend, like, is that gentleness? Yeah.
Exactly. It's all of those things. And it's an awareness that this is not forceful, that this is a very gentle, loving energy that needs to come into you instead of the fear of the world that feels very forceful to us. And it really then begins to allow us to feel a very gentle, peaceful, loving energy instead of the fear that we normally are exposing ourselves to.
Yeah. And I think, for those of you who know me, I mean, I lost probably one of the most important people in my life last year, and my knee-jerk reaction, yeah, I mean, I had no idea what was going on. I was having an out-of-body experience, when this happened, but was to really like put myself in bubble wrap, like I had to really kind of just stop and retreat and kind of slowly let kind of the world back in, and it was interesting though. It was so instinctual to me. Like I needed to be outside. I needed to be away. I needed to turn everything off. I needed to just like, lock myself up in a fortress, and like little by little, I'm coming out. So I think for me, it really resonates with this whole, gentleness, because, I found that very helpful for me over these last few months. So what else can people do? What else do you think is important? How people can make time for this?
Well, first, I want to acknowledge your loss, and everything that you just shared is very instinctual. It's very intuitive, especially for women, to create space, because we hold so much. I had a coach once say to me, I was like, I feel like people think I'm a know-it-all, and he's like, no, you're a hold-it-all. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's heavy.
That's some heavy stuff right there, literally.
Mic drop.
Totally. And in that moment, I was like, yeah, I have been holding way too much. And I'm holding my kids' emotions. I'm holding my partner's, burdens. And, we tend to just hold so much, and it becomes way too heavy. And so how do we create that space? how do we get ourselves into, like you said, that bubble that protects us from gathering any more of that stuff that we just can't hold anymore? I realized that in the quiet, that we don't carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. I realized that when these energy points came to me in the quiet that I had experienced, that we carry the weight of the world in our hip energy, in that little cupped ilium. And so what I help my clients do is I help release that dark, stuck energy out of their hip area. And they really tend to lighten up just with that simple visualization. And in Get Quiet, the book, I share a lot of visualizations that will help you shift this energy from feeling stuck and heavy to being really the lightness of being that you really came into this world as. And this is about getting back and returning to that.
I love it.
I love that too.
I think we hold on to a lot of stuff.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, you were saying hips. I was, and I was like visualizing how we do carry so much on our shoulders, but really I feel like I carry so much internally. Like it's not even on my shoulders. It's like living in my body. And how do you get that out? And how do you bubble wrap yourself and sort of keep all of this, all these feelings from not penetrating you? Sometimes it's like you can't take on everything and all things all the time. And I think as women, we're so susceptible to that, so open to that. So how do we shield ourselves a bit and protect ourselves from having it always enter?
Hello, lovely ladies. This is Helen Christoni, and I am co-founder of Make Time Wellness. Are you ready to take charge of your wellness journey? Well, look no further than Make Time. We have worked tirelessly to develop all-in-one drink mixes that make a woman's daily wellness easy and delicious. Make Time Wellness supplements offer comprehensive formulas for your brain, body, and beauty in that order without having to take handfuls of pills. Make Time is packed with powerful ingredients like MCTs, omegas, biotin, multivitamins, and curcumin. We are really busy women and have designed these formulas for busy women like you. So join us and check us out at maketimewellness.com/podcast20, and we'll give you 20% off your first purchase. Make time for your brain, body, and beauty today with Make Time Wellness.
That's such a great question, because that really gets down to the root of what we're talking about, Emma. This is about, yes, it's protecting us with boundaries, but not so that we are putting up walls so that nothing good can come in as well. So there's a very fine balance to that. And in terms of the internal shift, these are the 8 energy points that I feel can really help harmonize and balance our bodies. And so if you don't mind, I can go through these energy points with you so that you and your listeners can always have them. And if you're near a paper and pen, you can write them down, but we could just do a quick meditation visualization if you don't mind. And I can show you how to get that harmony and inner peace that we're looking for. So if you would like, we can close our eyes down. Take a nice, really deep breath in. Hold the intention that we deserve inner peace. And the very first thing we notice is the abdomen area. This is where we hold a lot of stuck energy. This is where a lot of healing can occur, especially for women. The womb area, and all the other vital organs that are in the abdomen. So we focus there, and we visualize anything that feels stuck. Are there any images that come up? Sometimes it could be a rolling waves of an ocean. Sometimes it could be a garden full of weeds that need to be pulled out through your belly button. Use your imagination. This is a very playful visualization. Where they're going to head up now to the heart region. This is the second energy point. Take a really deep breath in. This is the part of the book where in Get Quiet, I talk about matching our breath with the universe's breath. When we are in pain and suffering, we know that the universe has a breath that we can match up with for the healing that we need within ourselves, that we are not alone. The next energy point would be your head. And visualize all the racing thoughts and how you just want to have them flow out of you. Then we go down to the hips. We talked about any stuck emotions. Sometimes it can look like balls of yarn that we can just pull out, those stuck, knotted balls of yarn right out of our hips and let the yarn float away. We're going to move through down to our feet. This is about grounding ourselves. This is about knowing that we are not only of the earth, but also of the divine. And so grounding now is not just down to the earth. It's not just these beautiful rays of light shooting down into the earth, but it's also these rays of light shooting up to the heavens. Isn't that such a beautiful, beautiful vision? It's time to move our lives forward now. And so we're going to focus on our legs, especially the knees and under the kneecaps, because there's a lot of stuck energy there for a lot of us. And so we almost want to visualize those kneecaps coming up, just like a bottle top, and all that dark stuck energy coming out, floating away from our bodies so that we can harmonize the interior of our bodies. Putting those kneecaps back on with light and love, knowing now that we can freely move forward with new visions, new dreams, new ideas, new people, new opportunities. The second to the last energy point would be the tailbone, full of intuition. The intuition that colors our dreams, makes them real. Sometimes we feel like we have never had our intuition or that we've lost our intuition. It's always there. It's just the noise blocks that out. Cleaning and clearing that tailbone energy that could be stuck, bringing love and light back in there. And then finally, our shoulders and the rays of light that shine up into the universe, connecting with unity consciousness, knowing that we are everything, everything is us. And there is only love, and only love is real. Bringing that love back down into our bodies, every cell in our bodies, and locking all of that in and activating this for the purpose of purely harmonizing this body of ours, this precious, precious body of ours, and knowing that we can create peace within us and in the world. You did it.
We did it.
We did it.
That was like a barefoot dreams blanket, like wrapped around. Like, I mean, it was so, I think Emma and I really, really need so much of this. And so many people do. Elaine, thank you so much for taking us through that. That was so beautiful. I felt like I was just like
wrapped in it. Yeah. It's when you get quiet, you realize, oh my gosh, I need to do this more. My mind, everything is always so busy, and, you forget just to take those quiet moments and how like replenishing it feels.
Yeah. I mean, I think I always ask this question. You're Madge in Alabama, you got 4 kids, you're going to drop off soccer practice, you have all this stuff going on. You're trying to make ends meet. Like there's, like that woman out there that's just struggling, has got so much on her plate. And, just like, what's one like nugget you can give her when she's just got, 10 million things pulling at her? Like, what's the one thing she could do to just get started here?
I appreciate that question because I was that woman. And I'm living in Arizona though, but I was that woman, and I had forgotten to connect to my soul. I had forgotten connect and continue to have conversations with what I call God. I thought I had the outside world telling me exactly what I needed to do, but I had totally disconnected from my own truth, from my own soul's calling. And I just got quiet. The message is very, very simple. Get quiet and listen. That is what you do. And you can do that in your car, in the pickup line, instead of having the radio on or being on your telephone or on your social. Just take time for you. This is about making time. This is about making time for you and making time for the quiet, because in that quiet is where your life actually exists. That is where the truth of your life exists and where all love exists. So that's what I would tell that woman.
Okay, Elaine, we're going to ask you our last question, which is, what are you not making time for that you are going to commit to making more time for today?
I am going to make more time for doing what I love to do, which is Pilates. It's a way that I move my body in a way where I feel more like childlike, because I was a gymnast growing up. And so it's not me going and having to work out. It's doing something that feels like play, which I believe is one of womankind's greatest achievements, is play. And sometimes I forget to play. So it's Pilates, off I go.
I love it. I'm a Palazzo too. And so I love making time for Pilates. So bravo to you. And
I like to make time to play. I'm all about playing. I just want to play. Like, my childhood didn't really allow for much play. So I'm trying to relive that childhood now. So I'm a big, firm believer in make time to play.
yeah. And she brings me with her, which I'm so grateful for, Emma, like making me make time to play, because it's just awesome that we can do it together.
We need to have fun.
So, Elaine, please tell everybody how they can find you. Where can we get your book? Like, how do our listeners find you?
Yes, well, they can find me at elaineglass.com, and they can find the book at getquiet.com or any place they enjoy buying their books.
Right, we're going to link it in the show notes so everybody can find Elaine. Elaine, I have to just thank you so much. It was really beautiful to have you on with us today. And I so appreciate you. And I'm just so glad that you're here.
Yeah. Thank you for the work that you're doing. And I appreciated the meditation and learning how to get quiet. Thanks for joining us today. We hope that listening to our podcast has empowered you to make more time for yourself. So please remember to subscribe and share with a friend who could also use a healthy reminder on the importance of making time.
Make sure to tune in, as we will continue to have incredible guests that will share their make time tips on our upcoming episodes. Come say hi to us over on @MakeTimePod on social media, or visit us at maketimewellness.com.
Until next time, make time.